Watch the entire PMDB video series from start to finish in the playlist link below. Also, old PMDB videos now available elsewhere. The 5th annual Royal Rumble took place on January 19th, 1992 in the Knickerbocker Arena, I think he pronounced that, from New York City. In a reasonably quick match, Rowdy Roddy Piper defeated the Mountie for the Intercontinental Championship by submission. In a match that looked great on paper, the Natural Disasters defeated the Legion of Doom by countout. It really didn't live up to the hype, but it looked a fantastic match. Two awesome teams colliding here, but fell flat like the majority of the undercard before the Royal Rumble match felt a bit flat. If the undercard was slightly better, this would have been a 9 out of 10 Royal Rumble event for sure. Now on to the greatest Royal Rumble ever. The 1992 Royal Rumble was for the WWF Championship, which was won by Ric Flair, whom, with the help of Hogan, eliminated Sid Justice to win the vacant WWF title for the first time. Fantastic performance by Ric Flair throughout in a star-studded Royal Rumble match that featured Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Jake the Snake Roberts, Macho Man Randy Savage, and future greats. And what made this Royal Rumble match even better, which elevated it to the next level, was the commentary by Bobby the Brain Heenan throughout. What an outstanding... This, in my opinion, was the best commentary from any announcer during a match. Fantastic stuff from the late, great Bobby the Brain Heenan. My first WrestleMania experience as a fan was WrestleMania 8, which took place in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Hoosier Dome, which no longer exists. It looked a great dome. Took place April 5th, 1992. I would have been 4 at the time. I just got into wrestling in November 1991. I watched this WrestleMania the next day. One of the great matches on this WrestleMania card was Piper versus Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. I can't recall another time they went one-on-one in a WWF ring, but when they did here, very, very good match with a solid finish that was different from the usual finishes to matches. Bret Hart getting the win here and going over very strong. First time to see Piper being pinned in a WWF major event. The match that just edges it for me as the greatest match at WrestleMania 8 is Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ric Flair for the WWF Championship. Bobby Heenan once again great in commentary. Mr. Perfect was getting involved a lot during this match. He was the manager for Ric Flair during it, or he actually looked like a bouncer at one point when he hauled Macho Man off Ric Flair right at the start of this match on the outside. A lot of Attitude Era type shenanigans going on in this match. During this match, Miss Elizabeth running down. There was a young Shane McMahon trying to stop her. He's one of the officials coming down the aisle. Great match. Arguably, what was even more memorable following this match was the post-match interviews between Savage and Flair. Ric Flair cut a fantastic Ric Flair woo promo as he always does, but Savage, his intensity in his interview was maybe the best Macho Man Randy Savage promo and one of the greatest promos I've ever seen from wrestling. The main event, one of the double main events, should I say, but the proper main event, the last match on the show, was between Sid Justice and Hulk Hogan. But what's mostly remembered is what happened following this match. We saw the return of the Ultimate Warrior, whom in real life had been fired since SummerSlam. He ran to the ring like a lunatic. He looked like a different Warrior, I will say, even though we're told it was the same Warrior. I think it is. He just looked a little bit different. Hadn't been going to the gym uh, clearly as much as he used to, and had a haircut. He was supporting the bob kind of look. But memorable return, and this would be the last time we would see both Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior in a WWF ring together. The two biggest stars of the golden age of wrestling. This would be the last time we would see them, and they would cap off WrestleMania 8. SummerSlam 1992 was the first WWF pay-per-view event to take place outside of America and not in Canada either. It took place in London, England, Wembley Stadium, packed house, over 8,000 fans. It got taped on August 29th, 1992 and aired later on August 31st, 1992. One of the matches to feature on SummerSlam was Crush taking on Repo Man. The former Demolition teammates both had been repackaged since WrestleMania 7, which was, I believe, the last pay-per-view appearance for both. Actually, that's a lie. I've made a mistake here. Repo Man appeared Tuesday in Texas in 1992 Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 8. I really messed this up. First pay-per-view appearance, I believe, since WrestleMania 7 for Crush Fool. At least I got that right. I've really messed up this video already. But both were repackaged. Crush, same name, different look. Repo Man, formerly Demolition Smash, completely different look and new gimmick. Crush getting a win here with the big Crusher submission. One of the main attractions for SummerSlam, and one of the reasons why it's one of the most iconic and greatest SummerSlams of all time, was the WWF Championship match that featured the Ultimate Warrior taking on longtime rival Macho Man Randy Savage. It was a solid match, not as great as the WrestleMania 7 encounter, but a solid match nevertheless. The Intercontinental Championship was the main event of this year's SummerSlam. SummerSlam 92 marked the first WWF pay-per-view event not to feature Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania was over. It was transition time, and we were transitioning into the Bret Hart era, the next generation, as Bret the Hitman Hart put his Intercontinental title on the line against brother-in-law, the British Bulldog, in one of the greatest wrestling matches of all time. Great work from both men. Fans really into it too. The 6th annual Survivor Series took place November 25th, 1992. It was in Ohio. One of the matches that took place at the Survivor Series was the return of Mr. Perfect to the ring. He teamed up with Macho Man Randy Savage to take on a team of Razor Ramon and Ric Flair. On paper, this looks like a terrific match, but every wrestler involved in this match seemed to have an off day. It was still fairly enjoyable, but I've seen much better from all four participants, and it was a disappointing return to the ring for Mr. Perfect. The 6th annual Survivor Series was the first Survivor Series to not really have a Survivor Series match. The only Survivor Series match that felt like a Survivor Series match was the tag team Survivor Series match, which consisted of the Nasty Boys teaming up with the Natural Disasters to take on Money Inc. and the Beverly Brothers. But after 2 eliminations, this match was over. There should have been an actual Survivor Series. Now, technically, this was a Survivor Series match, but there were so little eliminations, it didn't feel like a traditional Survivor Series match. And I think every Survivor Series should have at least one traditional, whether that's a 4-4 or 5-5. I think there should be one on each Survivor Series event. The main event was for the WWF Championship. Bret the Hitman Hart, whom had lost to the British Bulldog at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship, became WWF Champion between these two shows, SummerSlam and Survivor Series, by defeating Ric Flair by submission. took on Shawn Michaels here at the Survivor Series. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, 5 years shy of their very infamous match of the Survivor Series, 1997. Bret Hart getting a win here by submission. No shenanigans. In a decent matchup. Shawn Michaels, he had the look. He had the wrestling ability. He would, in my opinion, get even better over the years. But it wasn't quite the draw here yet for main event. Overall, 1992 was a solid year for pay-per-views. 3 of the 4 pay-per-views were 8s and 9s. In 4th place was a disappointing Survivor Series, however. The second year in a row Survivor Series is at the bottom of my rankings. In 3rd place is the Royal Rumble, which featured the greatest Royal Rumble match of all time, 8 out of 10. 2nd place, WrestleMania 8, 8 out of 10. And in 1st place, one of the greatest SummerSlams of all time, and the greatest earlier SummerSlam, the SummerSlam 1992.